Well, hello there, everyone. Um, heavy, heavy hammer bushcraft. I was going to go up and do a little work on the shelter thing that we've been doing. I talked about in the last video today, but I just today got back to my house from vacation, and if you can't hear it in this region here, there's some kind of sickness that I brought back with me, which was not one of the things I intended to bring back from vacation, but Um, it's better now. There was a bit of a fever involved, and that broke, I believe, last night. Yeah, it was last night that broke. So feeling a little better. But that reminds me, I do got to go hit the fire cider before I do much else today. But I wanted to revisit my Bushcraft for Beginners series that I had started, and I know we had gone over knives and cooking and cook sets and some other basic stuff like that. But we had not gone over anything about saws, and everybody's really big about bringing a saw with you. Um, unless you're building shelters or planning on staying long enough where you're going to need a substantial amount of firewood, I don't necessarily see the point in bringing a saw every time. But I know it's a piece of kit that people like to cover and people like to use and like to argue over about which one's better, what style is better, what's best, what's this, what's that. I've used everything from the little cheap folding saws at Walmart to, well, the two I have with me today. Actually, one of the two I have with me today I have not used, but I have good hopes for it, I think. And if not, I'm going to make a different version. So, but I guess without too much further ado, I mean, this guy right here, this is kind of like one of the go-tos for the bushcraft community. It is a Silky Gomboy, which is their mid-size one. Um, it's not the biggest they make. They make them all the way up to I think the big boy, which is like this, and then they make the little smaller one that's about like that. Um, this one has always seemed to suit my needs really well. It's a pull cut saw, so it only cuts on the pull stroke, not on the push stroke. Um, but it cuts fast. I mean, these things just eat wood, and I mean, for my money, they are great. They're somewhat adjustable. You can cut a couple different angles on them. It is apparently very highly polished because I keep blinding myself. The only thing I did add from the factory, it did not have a lanyard on it, and I like a lanyard on anything like this that I'm using because I can put it right around the wrist, whip her open, use it, and if I slip, if anything happens, it's right there. I don't have to worry about it getting lost on me. So that's definitely something I recommend adding. Oh, that's bright. But yeah, the Silky Gomboys, that's my go-to for a folding saw for, most everything. I can't really think of many other saws that I would want to bring or need to bring with me. It works well. I mean, there's a Ozark Trail version available at Walmart, which is it's a pull and push. It's a dual direction, and it works. It eats wood just fine. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's just fine. It's similar setup. I mean, the locking mechanism on it is about the same, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if you could, buy that saw from Walmart and put a silky blade in it. It wouldn't surprise me a bit. I've not tried it, but you know, I mean, this thing I think was 30 or $40. The Walmart one's 20. You know, spend the money, get the silky. Well worth it. And this guy here, um, I'm not sure about this yet. Uh, this was a Temu purchase. So we're kind of going to see how it goes. I like that it did come with well, they call it leather sheath, but I'll make a better one. And obviously, I've not had this long. It doesn't have a lanyard or anything else on it. But this is just a folding buck saw. So it is just very basic. Kind of goes together, kind of locks in like so, and rocks up and locks. Little folding buck saw. Now, these things do have the disadvantage of you can only cut wood that's that thick from there to there. Any thicker than that, and you're doing like multiple angles and changing things weird. The stroke on this really isn't much different than the Silky, to be honest with you. It doesn't seem to be. Blade length seems to be about the same. Yeah, usable stroke is probably less than the Silky, actually. But everybody likes these folding buck saws and stuff like that. So I figured I would pick one up and give it a try. I mean, I wasn't going to spend a fortune on it, and Timu said a couple of bucks, so I said why not, and we'll give it a shot. I mean, there's a few things I would probably change about it if I were to redesign it, and you can build these yourself in the bush. There are tutorials out there like crazy for how to do that. I mean, it's just, 3 pieces of wood, the blade, and some cordage, and a couple of pins. Usually nails is what most people use. And I will probably attempt to make one of those at some point, just to show you that it can be done and how easy it is. But saws, yet again, a bushcraft choice that is just a personal preference. However, if you want to go with a folding saw, because like this one, because it is small, it's compact, it doesn't take up a whole lot of room. Like I said, the next step down is maybe about this big versus this one. Great, they don't weigh a lot. And they're rather durable. I've had this one quite a few years. I've not had to sharpen it or anything else. So yeah, if I had to pick a favorite right now, this is it. There's no better, I've not found one better. So, but again, it's a personal preference thing. And if you're just getting started, go to Walmart, pick up the Ozark Trail one. Like I said, 15, 20 bucks. It's half the price of the Silky, and it works. It cuts wood. I mean, that's what you needed to do, right? So, yeah. Get into a little further on. I want to do kind of an advanced video on this one because, like I said, I want to do the other version, the wooden version of this, and show you like blade storage and whatnot. So, cause there's some cool stuff to do on that. But yeah, don't get tied up like everybody else does with name brands for the most part. Find a brand that you like that works the way you want it to work. Stick with it. Try something new every once in a while to see if you can find something better. But if you're just starting out, like I said, that little Walmart Ozark Trail push pull folding saw thing works just fine. You don't got to go out and spend hundreds of dollars on the saw. You just don't. This is bushcraft. For as much money as you can spend on gear, remember, knowledge weighs nothing. The more knowledge you carry with you, the less you have to worry about, kit. But that's all I got. 7 minutes on saws, I guess, for today. And I may go up and do a little tour of the shelter here in a bit and see if we can't get that posted. But I wanted to revisit this series because I was having fun with it. And I was having a good time with it. Well, now that I'm back from vacation, why not dive back in, right? So, yeah, that's what I got for today. Like I said, I might go up and work on the shelter. We'll see a little bit. I got to find my E-tool. I have no idea where it is. I haven't used it in a minute, so hard telling not knowing, I guess. But that's all I got for today. Good talking to y'all. Like I said, remember this. This is going to be my catchphrase from now on. Knowledge weighs nothing. Period. That's it. See y'all in the bush.